So this is where I'm gonna set up the treble. I passed up like 15 different spots looking around for a place to set it up tonight and camp. I wanted a perfect spot, and this is pretty close. I passed up about 15 other campsites. And it worked out that this one is better than all the ones I passed up, so that's cool. It's just tucked down in a little gully, about 9,000 feet in elevation. So the trees haven't got all their leaves on yet. They're just starting to bud out. A lot of green grass. I don't know, this feels like just a super peaceful place. And you can see there's the treble hammock there in the ground. So here's the bag, how it looks when it comes. This is the tent pole pocket. I'll show you that in a little bit. But here's where the tree straps are. So I put the tree straps 1, 2, 3 on these 3 trees. I picked these 3 trees because I want to be able to have the view. I want to be able to look that way, and I want to be able to look that way, and have all of this be my view. And if you stand between the 2 headside trees, right, they line up perfect. I'm right in the middle of the 2 headside trees, pointing right to the toe side tree. So that's going to work. It's folded in fourths. Usually put it over my shoulder. Grab a bite on the webbing. Push the loop through. We'll see how close that is. I didn't ever want to have to put the hammock on the ground. Might be rainy or muddy or so there's some tie straps. This tie strap here holds the middle, holds all of it up off the ground. Looks like I'm a little bit this direction, so just going to loosen that a little. Probably will be about right. Pull that one. So I'm right in the middle. It's lined up good. This doesn't have to be super duper tight. But you do have to tie it off. Take this loop and tie it around on both sides. Take the loop. You can see it already wants to go one direction. Tie that off so it doesn't slip. That's really important. So see how I got this loop from pulling it tight? Just tie it off. Now that we have both of the head sides secure, we can loosen that. The whole thing unrolls. Take a bite of the webbing, making a loop, and then put the loop through the other D-ring to pull that tight. Then you tie it off. So this seat strap here, you want to cinch it all the way tight. If you're in recliner mode. If you're wanting to do recliner mode, make sure it's on a little bit of an angle and make sure the seat strap is pulled tight all the way. That's what's going to lift up your knees. Get in, you put your knee right on the knee strap. Oh, buddy. Feels like you're beating the system. I'm in the outdoors, but man, I'm comfy. Which makes it hard to do these videos, because as soon as I sit in it, I got plenty of time. I'm going to put my phone in that pocket right there. Yeah, got me a selfie pole. Woo! It's super quiet here, but it does echo, which is pretty fun. When you spend all the time and effort to get to a place that's really cool, you want to be able to relax and be comfortable, be able to see it, be a part of it, without a whole bunch of effort. And that's what's happening right now. But I'm not kidding, when you get in the treble hammock, your brain shuts off, everything slows down, and you just really relax. I do need to switch this to sleeper mode and show you how to do that. And there's some details about sleeper mode I want to go over. And I'll get it all set up so everything's ready to go before dark. And so I can start working on my dinner before it gets dark. Okay, to switch to sleeper mode, we're going to release some of the tension. And we're going to lower this down a little bit. So there's the loop I undid, and here's the other side of the webbing. Sometimes you grab the D-ring and twist it just a little bit. That makes it come undone easier. Now what we want to do is move these D-rings to the sleeper mode loops. Make sure when you hook it on, you go through the loop, but you're going all the way around the webbing frame strap. You don't want to just hook to the loop. We can pull this tight again. And see, what we're trying to accomplish is we're trying to get this bottom layer of the hammock to be level. So that means you're going to have to lower this strap down a little bit. You might have to play with it a couple times when you get in it. To get a more flat lay, see, right now the knee strap is still pulled all the way tight. That's how you want it in recliner mode. Make sure this divider strap, see the divider strap that's connected right here? You'd pull it tight if you had two people, but I don't tonight. So make sure you loosen that all the way. So let's talk about putting a cover on. So these are, the cover's just the element shield. Just tied on there like that. When it's in sleeper mode, this toe side corner gets pulled farther, closer to the tree. So Just loosen that up a little bit. Bring the toggle down into the D-rings. Turn that toggle sideways. Once that's toggled in like that, pull it back to nice and tight. So now we're going to get the tent poles out of the bag. So this top flap, see this bag has this flap that opens with two zippers. Part of that flap is a sleeve to hold the tent poles. Find this tent pole sleeve. Feed it through. So there's a little tent pole pocket right there. And then take this hook and connect it to the triangle ring that's on there. And take this snap ring and hook it to the triangle. And come to the other side, put that tent pole into the tent pole pocket and hook it to the triangle. So in sleeper mode, the back side of this element shield now has a different shape than when it's in recliner mode. So take this snap and hook it on to that loop right there. Or you can hook it on to the D-ring. So now let's do the other side. Pull it tight. So we're pulling it tight. Nice and snug. This back flap has pockets all the way across on the inside to store stuff. This little D-ring you can use to hook there's a little cinch sack, a little stuff sack, rock pocket bag in your bag with the bug net. And that little bag you can tie onto the D-ring there and put a rock or something in it. And that'll pull this down. So there you can see the rocks. I put a couple rocks in there. You can see how that pulls the element shield down in the center. You could do the same thing by putting rocks in these pockets here and here, and, you know, wherever if you wanted. Rebecca had a little bit of fabric left over, and she is not one to have it go to waste. So instead of throwing it in the garbage, she gave you a little stuff sack or rock pocket with a D-ring. So that's what that's for. So in the treble hammock bag, you've got this cord. We're going to use it to hold the lid open. That looks about right. Okay, you take the toggle and the cord, and you wrap the cord around the toggle and pull it tight. And tie that off. That's what it looks like up close. Just got the cord wrapped around the little webbing piece, and the toggle keeping it from coming out. And I tied it off. So this is sleeper mode with the element shield open. It makes me super happy. Put a lot more gear in there, but just chuck it up there in the corner. not going to be cold enough tonight. I'm not going to use an underquilt. But if we did want an underquilt, you just put the blanket right under this strap and under this strap. And you pull that just tight enough to hold the underquilt underneath so you can get that extra insulation.
Oh, buddy. Anyway, we got some steak and potatoes in there. Cooking away. Well, now it's like 11 o'clock. And one of the things that makes morning really nice in a treble hammock is a hot breakfast without having to get out and make a fire and get breakfast going and all that kind of stuff. So what you do is you cook your dinner, and before you eat your dinner, the first food that you pull out off the hot pan goes into a thermos. And it keeps it piping hot. So by the time you wake up in the morning, you've got a hot breakfast. So this gear pocket back here is amazing. You can see I like to put my shoes right there. Unless they're muddy or something. Sometimes I'll kick my shoes off into that little pocket, into that corner. It's just outside my feet, the other side of my feet. But if they're not too muddy or whatever, I like to put them right there. So when you have to get up to go to the bathroom at night or something, you just grab your shoes, put them on, and then you roll out. And actually, I have put my boots there when they were muddy at times. Because what you can do is you can roll into the hammock, keep your feet in the air, take your boots off, stick them right there, and then when you need to put your boots back or your shoes back on, you put them back on, keep your feet in the air, and roll out of the hammock. And you can do it pretty easily without getting your sleeping bag muddy and all that kind of stuff. Then I'll throw my extra bag up there. You can also carabiner the bag to that loop right there if you wanted to have your bag sitting right here. But I don't know, I like it there. See how this fabric drops just a little bit, so there's a lip right here. We had to put some extra fabric right there so that in sleeping mode stuff wouldn't slide out and hit you on the head and stuff. So anyway, so this little lip, we put just enough fabric there to make it a lip. And there's the treble hammock bag. But since we added so many cool pockets right here, you can put in my breakfast food. You can always put stuff. We got these extra pockets that are right there, nice and handy. Unlike hammock camping, you have all of your gear right within reach. You don't have to put it on the ground underneath your hammock. You don't have to worry about it getting rained on, or you also don't have to worry about it getting stolen. Like, you don't have to worry about, because you can't see it, you don't have to worry that somebody's taking it away or little critters are bothering it. So it's just really nice to have that gear bag right there.
So I'm going to take the element shield off, and to do that, you just push this toggle to one side, turn it, just come on, unhook it from the triangle ring. That can pull out. Pull that up. Unhook the back straps. So these two tie-offs are meant to keep the element shield out of the way. So I find that I've used the element shield a lot more often for shade during the day. Loosen that up a bit. That's it. Going back to recliner mode, we'll loosen it a little more. You just grab it, the bag, scoop it up, stuff it down in there. Now this pocket here acts like a really deep closet. You hold all your stuff. Keep it out of the way. That's better. Another cool thing about the treble hammock is it serves as a workspace. Like this is kind of like a countertop. Table almost, where I can, because I do not like getting down to the ground. If I were to go to the ground, it's kind of a pain, plus you get your sleeping bag dirty. This allows you to have a workspace. Try to get past the knee strap, then you can just roll it right up. And it'll pull right out. So I grab it in the middle. And I grab it in the middle again. That puts it in fourths, which is the exact size you want it to fit in the bag. It's really easy to forget this little cord. So just make sure you got everything. And we're leaving it just the way we found it.